Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to the Northern Games Summit YouTube channel. Today we have yet another speaker interview for you, and our interview today is Antti Seppänen. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Hello Antti, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, very busy with our game, but please find some time to do this interview.
Yeah, alright, tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
So, I'm Antti Seppänen. I work as a narrative designer at Resistance Games. I've been working at Resistance for the past 3 years or so. And, I do all the things related to narrative. We're currently working on our second game called Great Houses of Calderia, which will be released in early access soon.
Right, so tell me, how does a normal workday look like for a narrative designer?
Well, that's quite a hard question because no 2 days are quite similar, and it pretty much depends on which period of time we're going on in a project. But the work of a narrative designer is mostly trying to keep the game's narrative and story in a coherent form across all the fields, art and writers and so on. Depending on the size of a company, the day-to-day work varies a lot. In a smaller company, narrative designer does a lot of writing as well, and as the company grows bigger and the titles get more specific, a narrative designer usually tries to kind of uphold the narrative coherency of the game. So that's the definition of a narrative designer.
Right.
But to my day-to-day work, I do a lot of game design at the start of the project as well, so not only narrative design, and I'm very involved in the creation of world building at that point of development, alongside with all the other departments. So we kind of create the rules for our game world in a narrative sense, what applies to it, what kind of tone we have, what kind of characters we have, what kind of methods of conveying story do we have, and so on and so forth. And later on, as time goes on, I'm more focused on the writing side as well as upholding those rules we've created in the world building phase.
Right, yeah, that sounds interesting. How did you end up working there? What was your career path like?
Well, I started as a student in Kajaani University of Applied Sciences. I graduated as a game designer there, and pretty much after I graduated, I started my own company called Afterlife Entertainment, which I ran for 3 years or so. I also worked as a teacher at the Kajaani University. I taught game design and game production, and I was also the team lead for all the game site teachers there. And even when I was in school, I was always kind of very interested in game stories, and I still am an avid researcher or analyzer of different kinds of game stories, and I'm especially interested in how we can tell better stories in games. I'm not saying that they're bad, but there's always room to improve, because as an industry, we're very young compared to other storytelling mediums, and due to that and technical limitations in the past, we've been doing our stories mainly by mimicking others, like movies especially. So always trying to find new avenues and unique things that can be done in storytelling through games. And I ended up at Resistance Games mainly through networking in many events. I met Jussi Albio, our creative director, like maybe 10-13 years ago, and we've been friends ever since. And as they founded the company, they asked me to join their team, and I took the chance and joined Resistance.
Right. Do you have any favorite projects from your previous workplaces?
favorite projects? Well, I worked on many, and the latest one we released at Resistance Games was called Company of Crime, which is kind of an XCOM style tactical strategy game based in 60s London, where you can either play as a criminal and try to rise from a petty criminal to be the ruler of the underworld in the 60s. The 60s London, kind of a kingpin criminal emperor. Or you can also play as a detective of Scotland Yard and try to do the opposite, basically, to bring down the organized crime in 60s London. And that setting of 60s London is so rich for the narrative side that it was really a pleasure working on the story side of it. So I would say that is my favorite from all the projects we've released thus far. Of course, the one that we're currently working on is even more exciting.
Yeah.
We'll see that when it releases.
Yeah. What platform did you mention the previous game? What is it on? Where can people find it?
Yeah, the Company of Crime is for PC, and you can find it on Steam and pretty much all the marketplaces that are available for PC. If I remember correctly, it was also for Mac.
Yeah. All right. So about NGS, have you been before?
Yes, I've been in every single one of the NGSs, and I've been a speaker in all but the first one.
Oh.
1 year I was a panelist, but all the other times I've held a speech there.
What kind of speeches have you given there before?
Well, they have always been related somehow to narrative and storytelling, kind of given my insights and researches and input and things that I have found fascinating in game storytelling and telling them to the wider audience, to my peers. They're not always necessarily correct. They are theories and findings and so on, but they've surely been interesting, at least to me. And I've been receiving a lot of praises for them before, so I think I'm doing something right with them.
Yeah, and what is your speech going to be about this year?
This year I'm going to be telling you about the world building and kind of narrative structure for the Great Houses of Calderia, the game we're currently working on. And I hope to teach something about the process that goes behind the curtains in game development. I find that game industry in general, although in Finland we are very friendly and open with each other with people in our industry, that isn't necessarily true for all the other countries. And sometimes the procedures and things that we do for the game development are kept in secret, like they're some kind of state secret or something like that. So I hope to open up a conversation about these methods and maybe teach something at least to the juniors, and maybe some industry veterans can find some avenues and interesting things from my speech as well. So it's not meant to be a marketing or promotional speech for the game, but I'm using it as a reference to tell all the things we do in Resistance games of world building and narration.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of narrative and somewhat of a writer myself, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. What's the thing you're most looking forward to this year?
In NGS?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the whole event itself it hasn't been on for a year or two, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So I've always been very fond of the event itself. It's not the best business event, but to me it's the best networking event, because you're not just making new contacts and acquaintances, but you're rather making real friends, or you get to know people more deeply in NGS. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've also been away from Kajaani for 4 years now. So I'm also looking forward to meeting all the new students in the game industry from the Seppänen University. Since first since I was a teacher, it kind of is close to my heart to get to know all the new students.
Yeah, we'll be happy to have you back. Hey, that's all I have for you today. Remember everyone, tickets still on sale, still the link in the description. As well as any social medias and such. Yeah, that's all. I'll see you at the event.
Okay, see you there.